Welcome back to our Kingdom Conversations. This is the second part of our conversation, What Kind of King? Last time we were talking about the musical that Katherine Dike, who's joining us here, has prepared, and she wrote it and played a part in it, played parts in it, and this was really kind of her creative endeavor. And as we mentioned last time, St. Luke is going to be hosting that musical. That's on Sunday, September 12th at the Meridian campus at 3 p.m. And that's going to be the premiere of it. So Katherine, we're honored and privileged that you would choose to let us do that.
I'm honored and privileged that you would let me do my musical at St. Luke.
Well, as a daughter of the congregation, it seemed like a wonderful idea, and we're glad for that. You know, so we talked a bit about what the musical is, how it came to be, the process, the inspiration for it. You know, what I think would be helpful is knowing a little bit more about the challenges. You took a year and a half to do this. I'm sure if it took a year and a half, that doesn't mean that there were no roadblocks, no struggles, no challenges. It must have been kind of every twist and turn. You know, what about this? What am I going to do here? That sort of thing. So tell us a little bit about what were the challenges you faced in creating this musical? What were some difficulties?
Yeah, so there were many challenges, and there still are many challenges. You know, I feel like every problem is an opportunity in disguise, so that's how I try to look at it. But yeah, probably one of the biggest problems to date, anyway, is trying to find a cast. Like we actually have a replacement from the original video that you guys saw. We have the woman that was playing Matthew and Martha, and the woman that was caught in adultery, and I forget who else. She wasn't able to gig, so we just brought out someone new. But anyway, speaking of casting, so the woman, there's a woman who plays Jesus, and that is it's strictly blind casting. Our director, Mark Ruhala, felt that she was her name is Selena Ruhala, sorry. She is a Broadway caliber performer. She is excellent. and Mark felt that she was the most qualified and the one most right for the part, with, you know, yeah, so yeah, anyway, that might, it was a tiny bit shocking to me at first. I was like, oh, a woman, because Jesus was a man. But you know, she if you listen to what she's saying, and you listen to what she's doing, and you listen to the, you know, the scripture, and it's just basically telling the story, and you would kind of watch it blindly, I guess. And I actually kind of forget that I don't know. I mean, I know she's the woman, but I forget that we chose a woman to play a man. But yeah,
well, I would imagine you forgetting that is probably because you live so much in the world of musicals and theater. That was honestly a world that I knew nothing about prior to getting married. And my wife said, you need to fix this fast. We're going to have you watch West Side Story. And then, yeah. And then she just, and actually I've come to really appreciate musicals and love musicals. Les Mis is another one that she introduced me to. And anyway, but it is interesting that it was new to me as a first time watcher of musicals or theater, that just, they are asking you to kind of suspend some disbelief, use your imagination, sort of what you're seeing is not, you know, cast in stone, but it is kind of import. You got to kind of hold some things loosely. And I can see how that happens here too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other challenges that you face?
Yeah. So I guess the hardest song, some of the songs came super easy. Some of them were literally given to me by God. I'm not trying to sound like a big jerk, but it's true. Like, I'll tell you a story. So what's it called? You Made It All, the finale. I was driving to work, and I heard it in my head. I heard You Made It All, and I was like, what is this? And then a couple days later, I was driving to work around the same spot, actually, and I heard it again, and I was like, okay, I'll write it down. And then it was kind of like literally God, I felt like it was like, he was like, you ready? And I was like, okay. And then he kind of just like poured it, and it literally just flowed so fast. But the hardest one to write was I'm With You. It's kind of a ballad that Mary sings to boy Jesus, and that one I just couldn't get it right, so it took like months to write that one, but yeah.
Katherine, I like all of the music in the musical, so I just really have enjoyed it. That was one of the things I really enjoyed watching the video of it. But in addition to the music, what are you hoping the audience takes away from seeing your production?
Well, I want them to feel and to know that they are loved, first by God, by Jesus. I want them to feel loved by us. It actually, fun fact, it was called You Are Loved until the name got changed to What Kind of King. That kind of happened, kind of like a God thing also. But anyway, I want them to feel loved. My goal is to make disciples of Jesus. I mean, if everyone followed Jesus in the world, it would be an awesome place. Like, because we're talking about this guy that says, love your enemies. If we all did that, I mean, anyway, so I want to make disciples of Jesus. I want people to really have a chance to look at the scriptures. So as an actor, we say, we want to kind of, what's it called? What I'm trying to say is sticking to the script, kind of looking at the givens. That's what it's called. Looking at the givens. So basically in a script, you look at the givens, what the script is telling you. So I'm saying in the story of Jesus, we're sticking to what the gospel says. So we're looking at scripture. So I tried through the whole musical to stick as closely to scripture, not the jokes. I tried to stick as close to scripture as I could, because I don't want somebody to be getting, my interpretation of what Jesus said, or my, anything else that I've clouded or I've made weird. I want them to get it straight from the 4 gospel accounts, which is also cool. I like what Lee Strobel said. I think it was Lee Strobel who wrote that book. I forget what it's called, but he said the 4 gospel accounts are kind of like 4 news articles or news stories on one event that happened, which is really cool. So basically these are, it's getting as close as we can to what happened. So I forget your question at this point, but yeah, that's it.
I was wondering what you wanted people to take from it. And I think just a better picture of Jesus, I thought was a great answer. And one of the things that I don't know if it was a side effect of the program itself, but the humanity of the disciples came through with a sense of humor. I really appreciated that as well.
Thanks. Yeah, it's funny because when I would read the Gospels and I would read what the disciples did, and I was like, dude, these guys are just like us. Like Jesus had just fed 5,000 people and they forgot the bread, and they're like, Jesus, what are we gonna do? And he's probably like, oh my gosh. Funny, because that's what I do.
Now, what's neat about that, just as you were saying, in reading the Gospels, but then also in this musical, you look at the disciples, these followers of Jesus, and there are days where in the Gospels, I read them and I'm like, come on, guys, how are you so dense? And then other days I'm a little bit more empathetic and I'm sort of like, yeah, I see too much of myself in them.
I know.
And I think that, as Shira was mentioning, that really does come through in your portrayal of them.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you think people should know about this musical or the premiere that's going to be happening at St. Luke?
Well, I want to thank you guys and everyone at St. Luke that has been very generous and supportive, especially you two. And thanks for letting us come and perform it there for our first live gig. Yeah, I hope everyone gets a lot from it.
Awesome. I'm sure they will. Well, thank you, Katherine, for being part of this. Cheryl, thanks for being part of this as well. And thanks to everyone taking the time to be part of this kingdom conversation.
Thank you.